Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to BodyBags. It's week 223, and I'm your Sunday host, Bourgie86, here again. Yes, guys, it's that time for the Sunday review. And the one I got for you guys today is a very fun film. It's one that I saw back when it first came out on like VHS back in the early 90s. And it's one that I wanted to always revisit. And this was miraculous. This actually came out on Blu-ray. Of course, this was the limited edition release of Vinegar Syndrome's newest version of Ice Cream Man. Yes, of course, this is a film from 1994, and pretty much the main gist of this one, we're introduced to our main setting where our Ice Cream Man, entitled Gregory, played by legendary actor Clint Howard, of course, from one of my favorite horror movies of all time, Evil Speak, and numerous other things that he does as an actor. Of course, like he stars in a lot of his brother's films as in like little side characters, and numerous other movies that you see Clint Howard in. You're like, hey, there's Clint Howard. Like when you watch a bunch of movies and you see him, like I know he's in like Leprechaun 2, like in a small role. But enough of that. But Clint Howard plays Gregory, who's our Ice Cream Man of the title, who we find out had like this traumatic thing happen to him when he was a kid, and he ends up going to a mental institution. Of course, it flash forwards years later, and he's selling ice cream to the kids now in an ice cream truck. And he's a very creepy character, as we see. And the kids are starting to notice like disappearances of their friends, and it all kind of links to Gregory. And is he like kidnapping them, and is he killing people? Pretty much, that's pretty much the gist of it. It's this group of kids who suspect Gregory of doing these acts, and also the police are on the tail of Gregory. Also, they have like their suspicions also of him. So my thoughts on the film: really fucking fun movie. Like Clint Howard is just crazy and awesome in this role as this like you could tell like the traumatic stress that this character has gone through, and it shows like the shyness of the character and the creepiness of the character as well as the film progresses. And he does a tremendous job in the role of Gregory, the Ice Cream Man. And a lot of like interesting like character actors and other actors appear in this movie. Like we have Olivia Hussey, of course, from like Black Christmas and Psycho 4, and what was the other movie that I know her from? It, the Stephen King movie, of course, the miniseries. And then we have David Warner, who, of course, like from like numerous movies, Waxwork, BodyBags, Titanic. He was even in numerous like great like British actor. He does. We got J. Michael Vincent, yes, the man himself, and we got David Naughton, of course, American Werewolf of London fame himself in this role. And yeah, it's a pretty hokey like film. You like it kind of bounces back and forth because it goes from like this kid story to like Gregory stalking and slashing people pretty much, and it's very like cartoony in that aspect of it, with like his ways of killing, because of the way like I was actually watching the interview with Clint Howard. The director Norman Aspen was actually trying to balance things out between like a kid's movie with like a horror film, and he was balancing out what he could show and what he can do. And some of the kills are off screen, unfortunately, but it has some like still some cool practical effects too, with like the aspect of like after effects of like the kills and stuff. Like there's a scene with like a decapitated head on top of a giant ice cream cone, which is very cartoony in itself. Like, where the fuck did he get this giant ice cream cone? And stuff like that, and just the aspect of the ice cream and making the ice cream, and just the weirdness of the gooiness of that scene too. Like, oh god. But yeah, it's a super fun film with a very cartoony like atmosphere, especially with the flashback sequences where we see Gregory inside the mental institution and what his ordeal was with that, and the relationship between him and Olivia Hussey's character of the nurse, who's very interested in that aspect also, especially when we delve more into her character also. And it ends with a bang. It's a very fast-paced ending. It really is like a very long chase sequence with like aspects of like cartooniness, and it has some cool like color schemes, especially with the aspect of like the ice cream and There's some like weird like green like tints coming from like Olivia Hussey's house in that scene, and it's a very interesting film with very goofy plot and goofy like characters in that aspect, especially some of the side characters like one of our kid characters, like older brother, is like trying to become a cop, and he's very like assholish at the same time, but it's very funny at the same time with that acting. The acting of that character and his girlfriend ain't really like the greatest things in this movie. But overall, it's a super fun film if you're a fan of like Clint Howard and stuff. He steals the show in this one, and he does a terrific job. So if I had to rate Ice Cream Man for its goofiness and like the awkwardness of like some of the roles, it's not a perfect film by any means, but I'll give it still like a solid 7 out of 10. And this edition by Vinegar Syndrome, I know was limited, so hopefully they put like a standard edition out of this release, because this release is top notch. The transfer on it's amazing, and it comes loaded with some great special features, especially like a commentary track with the director, an interview with Clint Howard, which is like 20 minutes long, which goes in the aspect of like his career and like his ordeal of like making the Ice Cream Man. We actually have a Monster Vision episode, yes, which with Joe Bob Briggs and Clint Howard, the summer school special, where they actually showed the Ice Cream Man, which actually is missing a few like segments because of copyright issues. But it was really cool that Vinegar Syndrome actually put that on this release. And really awesome stuff, and a lot of more interviews like the producers and the director. And yeah, it's really awesome edition. And I hope they do like re-release this in a standard edition, because I don't know if these sold out during the Black Friday sale. I think they did, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't hold that to me. But hopefully they do with like a standard edition of this out, because fucking awesome release from Vinegar Syndrome, and I had really fun with this. It's been a while since I've seen this film, and it is goofy, like I said, but it's super fun in the same aspect. So 7 out of 10 for Ice Cream Man. Awesome shit. Alright guys, this is for a review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back next Sunday for you guys, so peace out.